Ooh, an intro.
I do have an intro, and hi everybody, welcome to Twitch. Haha, I got a new intro made with my new logo, so this is the first time that we're officially using it, and I'm excited. And it looked like it went well, so yay!
Yeah, it
Well,
worked. It was nice. I saw it. Two
that's,
thumbs up.
thank you. At
Yep,
some
I
point,
like it too.
I will add some sounds and things to it, little by little stuff going on there. So welcome back to Uncanny Adventures and our Skull and Shackles campaign. At some point, we hope that Bart, the cook's mate, will be back, but if not, we'll see Dylan again next session. But we do have everyone else here for an adventure. Um, so we are back. Last session, um, some of our party were assigned to disembark from the ship as they had entered shallow waters off the Slithering coast, and they were asked to go and collect some crabs from a nearby sandbar. In doing so, some of them were almost crab meat themselves when they were attacked by some reef claws, but with the help of Jack Scrimshaw and their own prowess in fighting and spells, we managed to collect quite a bit of crab meat and bring back the reef claws as well, which are actually a fine delicacy. And in doing so, they seem to have impressed Captain Harrington, who hasn't said much to them in the almost 2 weeks they've been on board, but has now offered to have them get all their gear that they had with them returned as a reward for their good work. So, and while they were doing that, meanwhile, it appears that Antoinette decided to take the time to go for a nice swim off the boat on the other side of the ship while everyone was paying attention to the reef claw attack. So we are back. We're going to say hi to everybody, and we're going to play some D&D because it's fun, and that's what we want to do. All right, so let's go around. We'll start with Brad.
Hi, everybody. Brad McAlpine. I'm playing Miri and getting ready to have some more shenanigans in the Skulls and Shackles game.
Yay! And how about PaladinHulk?
Hi, everybody. I'm PaladinHulk. I'm a Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday and Little Red Dot. And I'm playing Holt, the pirate paladin. And I am excited to hop back into this, even though my throat hurts and everything is terrible. But not in this game.
Yay! And Cat.
I mean, everything is kind of terrible in this game.
Oh, come on.
We're on a boat.
We're on
The
a
sun
boat.
is shining.
True, but there's some weird things going down on this boat. Anyway, I'm Kat. I play Antoinette, and back after a week away, well, last session away, I'm looking forward to swimming around and coming up to, well, I don't know, make everyone believe about the ghost of Slippery Sill.
Ah, yes, Slippery Sill. May she rest in peace at the bottom of the sea, or in that shark's belly.
Right.
You don't know. Uh, so, we are back. If you want to help or hinder, and we'll just remind everybody what they have, we do take donations. The information is down below, and there's a little blurb on the screen. But just to point out, so Miri has a healing potion for all those healing needs. Holt, you're sitting on a natural 20 and an advantage. Antoinette is got a natural 20 and advantage and a healing potion. And I've got a handful of natural 20s that are kind of chilling there waiting for some fun use. And a couple natural 1s, 2 in fact, that the players are allowed to throw at me if they remember to. Uh-oh. Somebody's up to trouble. Looks like it's Brad.
That scallywag.
Thanks, Brad. And what's that for? Let's see.
Disadvantage to you, of course, Jeanette.
Oh, well, that's okay. I don't mind disadvantage. No worries. Y'all have to remember to make me have disadvantage, and so far, I have slipped through sneakily each time. We'll see if that continues. So, meanwhile, it is probably about midday. Antoinette, you come back up from your swim just in time to find the rest of your friends amongst the crew who have successfully brought back the crab pots, and they are full of delicious looking crabs and reef claw, and Fish Guts and Bart are collecting up the food to bring it down to the kitchen to kind of clean and start preparing it to have it on hand for the next few days, meals and things like that. And you see Holt and Miri standing with Jack Scrimshaw, who is, once again, you kind of look over and you see him now. He looks like he's holding his breath as he stands there kind of a step or two behind Miri and Holt. And you see him just... No, that wasn't long enough. And he looks over and he sees you and he's like, "Oh, Antoinette, did you fall in the water?"
I went for a swim.
"Oh, yeah, we did too. Look." And he's, still dripping wet from his swim back.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You're learning.
Yeah, I figure I better practice, so if I ever get blown overboard again, I can be more helpful.
Definitely. Have you recovered after the other day? I was really tired yesterday and I was asleep for most of it. Have you recovered?
I mean, yeah, I'm mostly all right. I think you and Miri did most of the work.
Oh, no, don't say that. If you hadn't helped, then we wouldn't have gotten you out.
But Jack, you helped us get these wonderful delicacies for dinner, so it all pays it back.
Antoinette, I didn't even get clawed or anything, and I stabbed that one. And he points at one of the buckets that's going away. I stabbed it with my knife, really good. I found a soft spot first, I think. Did I stab it first, Miri? Hold.
Yeah, you stabbed it
It's all
first.
kind of a blur.
Wow, you must have been super quick if it's been a blur to Holt over there.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Hey, but you see the captain? I think the captain's real happy with it. We get to go down and get our stuff from Cutthroat.
That's exciting.
Did you have much left down there, Jack?
No, actually, I don't really have anything. I kind of, I replaced my knife already, and I mean, there is I could get, there's a bag with some of my art that I could get back if Cutthroat hasn't sold it to anybody else on the crew.
You have art?
Oh, yeah. He kind of digs in his pocket and he pulls out it looks like one of the pig bones from, one of the pigs that's been killed along the way in the last 2 weeks, but it's been cleaned and dried in the sun, and it's got all of this fine kind of carving work, and it's it looks like the ship, he's carved the ship, and there's little you can tell it's little people on the ship and the ocean, and he's yeah, I kind of like to do some artwork and stuff like that. It's
That's pretty good.
That's
What do you call that then? What are you doing?
I don't know. What do you think I should call it?
I don't know. Wait, it's not woodwork.
No,
Is it bone work?
maybe. I mean, I don't know.
You're not a necromancer, are you?
What's a necromancer?
Someone who likes bones, but in a magical way. Brings them back to life. I think it's zombies. The skeletons,
That's creepy. I mean,
right?
yeah.
I'm just checking,
No.
because you like bones.
Well, I mean, they kind of hold up really good under the conditions, and it's a lot better than paper, because paper can get wet and can get ruined. So, I don't know. And
I imagine it's really hard to carve paper as well.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could just. Why don't I mean? Call it Scrimshaw after me, because it's my art.
So you scrimshawed that bone.
Yeah.
Well, I
Sure,
just got a
I
ring
mean,
to it. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping if I can put together some coin, I want to maybe get some inks or something, and maybe add some colors to some of my designs down the road.
You can add colour to this.
I think so.
Really?
I think I could. I think if you, either dyeing the actual surface, or, kind of getting the color into the lines to sort of bring out, if the sun hits it just right. I don't know. It's an idea I've got.
If
All
you're
right, that sounds nice.
if you're so much
Sounds-
into your art,
Yep.
then why are you on a pirate ship?
Well, I was sort of just minding my own business, kind of making a little money doing art, and I just sort of woke up on the ship one day about maybe 3 months ago, and yeah, I'm a pirate.
Did you get drunk?
I had a drink, but I only had the one. It was real strong, though.
Yeah, I guess that would do it.
Yeah. But
You
you
must have
know,
been Shanghai.
what's that?
Somebody slipping something in your drink and catching you unawares and dragging you onto the pirate ship.
Oh.
That's a weird word for it.
Well.
I mean, yeah, I guess I should have been more careful, but I mean, you know, now that you mention it, it was that lady, that Syl, that, you know, she dropped dead. She is the one that brought the drinks back from the bar that night. And I was sitting with a couple of people, and you know, like, Narwhal over there was at the table too. He was real interested in one of my carvings. So, do you think that they did it on purpose?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, I mean, but it's all right. I mean, now I'm doing this, and who knows where I'll end up next, right?
Maybe you become the first mate.
Yeah, you say that, and his eyes sort of dart around and look up, and he kind of rests his eyes on Mr. Plug for just a second. He looks back at the deck. Oh, I don't know if I want to be a first mate. I don't know about that.
I think that leaves a lot of time for art.
No, yeah, and I mean, the first mate's not really nice. Like, he's kind of not a great guy.
Oh, you don't have to be like this first mate.
Oh.
You can be your own kind of first mate.
Exactly.
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't know that, because this is like my first ship that I've been on, so like, oh, okay. I just kind of thought like that was how you had to be if you were going to be a first mate.
Oh no.
I think you can also just, if you don't want to be a pirate, you can just leave when we get to like any dock. You can be like, you know, that's enough for me.
I mean,
Bye.
are we planning to get to any dock anytime soon? I thought we were going to be out here for quite a while. I support you wanting to get off the ship, mind you.
I mean, I don't want to get off right now, though. I mean, well, especially not right now. I mean, I don't swim as good as some of you do.
Well, you're getting loads of practice.
That's very true. I'm getting much more practice than I was before.
Practice makes perfect.
That's fair. That's real fair. Hey, so maybe we should like go and collect our stuff before
Right.
somebody changes their mind, or you know, you see him this time, his eyes dart over to Master Scourge, who's walking along the other side of the deck, and he's like, plus if we get out of sight quick, maybe we won't get anything else to do for the rest of today.
Sounds good. We can head downstairs. I'm good with that. I could use some rest anyway. I got beat up a little bit by these things.
Yeah, for a minute or two there, I was a little nervous that we weren't going to make it.
We were fine.
Just because you fell asleep on the job.
I didn't fall asleep, but Bart did.
Yes, he did.
He and that reef claw both fell asleep at the same time.
That was weird.
It was weird.
Maybe he did some kind of magic.
Bart does magic?
I think so.
Whoa.
Magic's pretty cool. I don't do magic.
No, I don't do magic either. I mean, yeah, nope. I just, got the knife, and, that's about, and I got my art.
What do you call those
Art's
shiny?
kind of like magic.
What do you call those shiny things that comes out of your weapon there, then, Holt?
I mean, what?
Yeah, you did, like, hurt that thing really bad. Like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere. Like, you're real good with, the
I guess
fighting.
I stabbed it in the brain or something.
Maybe.
I guess it keeps its brain, like, in the back.
Oh.
Or like a heart. I don't know. I guess I stuck it somewhere that was real good. Because it
Yeah.
went down immediately. I
It
was
did.
like, oh, that's lucky.
It went down real quick. It was really lucky, especially because, with Bart sleeping, it could have just eaten him. Well, hurt him real bad. And he's walking across, and he opens the door and holds the door open to let you guys go downstairs.
Brad, how injured is Miri?
Well, in the old terms, I would be bloody.
Okay. I will let you go first, and I'll pat you on the shoulder as you go and heal you for 4 hit points.
Okay. And I'll head downstairs with my bowl and just kind of relax, put up my hammock, and sit back and relax and enjoy the dinner.
All right. So, Miri.
So what is for dinner?
So Fish Guts and Bart are working on apparently some kind of a seafood stew, because now they have all of this delicious reef claw and crab meat to make up for the bland, boring biscuits and mystery stew that you eat normally. So the rest of you, as Miri doesn't need anything from the store, Antoinette and Holt, you make your way down, and Jack says, "Hey, Antoinette, we're just tell Cutthroat, like, we're getting our stuff back, and you were there too, and then you can get your stuff back too. You needed to get stuff back, right?"
Yeah, I was gonna go down after dinner. Should I go now?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Go now.
yeah. We
Why
should
not?
do it before. Like I said, you never know if somebody's like gonna screw around with you. You know, like they think it's funny. Like, oh yeah, ha ha.
That's a good point. Yeah. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go now.
I don't know if you should be lying that you got your stuff back, but you know that's up to you.
Oh, I mean, we'll just tell him that I mean, because Miri and Bart don't seem to need anything, so somebody should get
She
the
can get her
benefit.
stuff back on my behalf.
See, Miri knows what I'm talking about.
Why don't you just like come along and say that's my stuff for her stuff?
How is that any different than her saying she was there and
It's
she could
slightly
get her stuff
different.
back?
I don't know. It makes me feel better.
Well, Miri, if it makes Holt feel better about it, we could do that.
I guess.
Jack kind of looks at Holt and's like,
Good job.
yeah.
I wonder if they still have all our stuff.
That's a good question.
I
So
think I recall like someone like took a hat or something from someone. Did someone take a hat? No? Nah.
I don't know. I mean, Bart's got a hat, and
Yeah, did someone take Bart's hat? Was that what's going on?
I can't remember.
I did hear Tawny talking about how
That's the one.
yeah, she really likes Bart's hat, and like I heard her saying something about how she's letting him have it for now, but it's just on loan.
Tanya might have not taken any of our stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, well, she is the captain's cabin girl, so she kind of just gets whatever she wants. I mean,
Except the captain just said we could have all of our stuff back. So even if Tanya has it, we should get it back.
I mean,
That does sound fair.
I know, but
I mean, I'm fine with her borrowing it while we didn't have it, but now that it is legal for us to get it back, I want my stuff back. At least some of it. I pay good money for that.
well, you got to be careful though, because if somebody does have something that was yours, once you join the ship, it's kind of like, from what Narwhal says, it's ship property, and in fact, like some stuff, other people like have bought from Cutthroat with their own like gold or in trade, so technically they paid for it too.
Do we get like a gold equivalent then?
I don't know. Like, I don't
This
really
gets real
ask the hard
confusing. Let's
questions.
just ask.
Yeah.
Let's ask.
Let's do that. So you all go in and kind of cram your way into the entryway to the galley, and in doing so, you're sort of like right in front of the door that opens into the quartermaster's store. Cutthroat is sitting inside on top of the biggest chest. Her like legs are kind of crisscrossed on top, and she's got just a tankard of rum sitting next to her, and she kind of looks up and looks at you, and she's like, "Yeah."
Did you hear the captain's decree that we could get all of our stuff back?
Yeah, on account we got some, what were they called? Reef claws? Yeah, we were doing some fishing, and then we got attacked by reef claws, only we killed them, and we brought them back to the ship, and the captain was all like, "Oh, I like to eat reef claws, and as a reward, you can have your stuff back.
The cook's mate there, and she like leans forward, just like her head kind of sticks out the door, and she looks into the kitchen, and you see Bart is like cracking a shell on a reef claw, and he looks up and he's like, "Hello, my friends," and he goes back to like breaking open and pulling out the meat. She leans back. She's like, "Yeah, he said you'd be coming down to retrieve your belongings."
If that's all right with you.
I mean, if the captain says that I can redistribute, then I'm gonna do. So what are we looking for?
Right.
Everything you got in the trunk.
I mean, not everything.
She looks at Miri, and like she's like got this sort of scowl on her face for a second, and then she grins like this gappy, toothy grin. She goes, "Ha ha ha! The ship's cook's mate says you're funny."
I had a battle axe, and I would really like that back. And I had some chainmail, and I would also, of course, like that back. But I'm less.
How are you going to wear chainmail on a boat?
Exactly right. I've been
I'm
wearing
very
leather
confused
now, and
by
it's
this.
fine. Like, obviously, chainmail does a better job of not, protecting
Sure,
me
but
from
you
getting
can't
stabbed.
really climb up the main mast in chainmail, can you?
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
he can keep the chainmail, and if no one else steals it before he needs it, if we come across another ship and he's got to board it, then there's a chance to use his chainmail properly. But I wouldn't suggest wearing it in the rigging, because if you get blown overboard like this one, she points at Jack, who just sheepishly smiles. She's like, "You're gonna sink like a rock, and no swimming by these two is gonna probably save you at that point."
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
what I was
like
thinking.
that's almost a challenge, and I look at Miri as I say this.
And I suppose I could lend it out to someone who doesn't have any armor at all.
Well, you could. I'm just gonna forewarn you. And she leans in
Yeah,
close.
I'm not going to wear it. You're completely right. That was really sound advice.
Well, no, I mean about the lending of your items. This is a pirate crew, and possession of an item generally means it's mine.
You've got all this stuff. You consider all this stuff yours?
Yes.
Not at the moment. Some of it is
That's a
ours.
lot of stuff.
Oh, it's mine until I hand it over to you, and then as you take it, then it's yours. But if someone else comes along and takes it from you, well, it's not yours anymore unless you can get possession of it back.
Well, you
see.
best start handing over then.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting possession of our stuff back now.
Is that my battle axe over there?
And she looks behind her, and it's kind of pinned between the back of the trunk. It's the only one that I currently have in the store.
There's only one axe. What do you fight with?
Oh, well, in the armory, there's plenty of other weapons.
All right.
But this one was still for sale.
Well, I'll be taking that back.
All right. She kind of leans over. She adjusts her positioning of her mug so she doesn't tip it, and she kind of pulls the battle axe. One battle axe.
Now we're talking. Right?
Well,
I've been making do with this tiny hand axe.
Where'd you
And
get
now
the
I've got
tiny
this
hand
bloody
axe?
big one.
Where'd you get the tiny hand axe from?
I don't know. I found it somewhere. It was just lying on the floor.
And
I think. Yeah.
she does a squint at it, and then she
Look.
looks on one of the shelves, and there's another hand axe, and she. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that one's also mine, but I've already got one now, so you can just keep that one.
oh, aren't you a generous one?
I mean,
All
I'll
right.
try.
I will. I seem to remember you had a shield when they brought you in.
Right, but I've also got this shield now, and I pull out the turtle shell thing that Bart made me. So
Her eyes go a little bit wet.
is this thing awesome?
Where did you get the turtle shell shield from?
Bart made it for me out of the remains of a turtle.
Hey,
It'd be so cool if Jack can etch some things into that.
Is that something you can do?
Jack kind of looks it over, and you see him his eyes light up a little bit,
I mean, it's not really a bone, but
I might be able to do something with that. And you see, as he's doing that, like, Cutthroat, like, looks out past you again into the kitchen, and she goes, "Cook's mate, I want a turtle shell shield, too." Well, next time I catch a large enough turtle, my fine woman. You hear him kind of muttering, crack, crack. Cheers.
that was a pretty good impression.
She's like, "All right, so we got a battle axe. I'm keeping the hand axe. You already got a shield. Okay, I got a chainmail.
Yeah,
Oh,
chainmail. There we go.
Hang on, then." She gets up off the chest, and she turns her back to you. Then she turns back and looks at you all. "No funny business." She takes out a key, and she puts it into the lock, and she turns it to the left, and then she turns it back to center and pushes it further into the lock and turns it all the way around to the right, and then takes the key out. And when she opens the trunk, there's a crossbow in there, but it does not go off. And she goes, moves, kind of lifts up the crossbow trap. And she says, "Funny thing, last week there was this dried blood, and the crossbow bolt was missing from the trap. I didn't find a dead body, though, so whoever it was got away. But if, and she looks over her shoulder, if you noticed anybody with a big old hole in their chest,
No,
You
I
let
take off my
Cutthroat know.
shirt so she can see that I'm not shot. Just for your own peace of mind that it's not me.
all right.
There you go.
You're all still dripping wet, by the way."
Right.
Yeah, it was a really good swim out there. The weather is amazing. You should go for a swim.
So she goes through and she'll start she goes, "What about these?" And she holds up 2 backpacks that they
Not a
have.
backpack.
It's
Oh, hey, I think that one's mine.
all right. Yeah, so these are 2 explorers packs that she pulls out.
Yeah, that
I'm
one's
assuming I
mine.
had one of those.
I believe
It's
you
got
did.
a mark on the sides, which, I remember.
She's
Yep,
like,
there it is.
"Yeah, this one's got a funny hat in it, and there's this box full of fake mustaches and makeup and stuff." So
Oh,
disguise
disguise
kit.
kit.
So she
I got
hands
that too.
she hands that one to Holt, and then she hands the
I
one.
forgot I got this.
She hands me Antoinette the one, and it's got silk rope attached, and there's a little pouch hanging off of it. And in each of your bags, you each have the map that you had in there before. She's like, "I couldn't make heads or tails of your maps, so I give them back."
Oh, you've
It's
got
not
that
really
too,
useful.
Holt, have you?
What's that?
Holt, do you have a map as well? We should look at
Yeah.
our maps together. Maybe they're the same map.
They're not. My map is for pickpocketing in the city that I'm from.
Oh, okay.
The right marks and where I was last.
So
Right.
Holt, your skull cap is also kind of tucked at the top of your pack, and
Oh, it's my helmet.
and Antoinette, she reaches in and takes out the light crossbow with the bolts, and there's the daggers in their sheaths, still kind of with it. And she says, "I think this went with your bag."
Yes, it did. Oh, these daggers, I've missed them.
She kind of hands it all back. She goes like, "I think that's everything, unless there's something I'm missing."
Did Jack, did you get your stuff back yet?
Yeah, I did. I had there was like a bag. I had a couple of tusks in there, and she's like, "Oh, you're the weird bones bag." So she puts the crossbow back down. She resets the bolt in the crossbow trap and closes the trunk and locks it. And then she goes over to one of the wooden boxes on the shelf, and she takes a different key, and she kind of does another random twist and turn of the key. And you hear this one sort of, there's like a brief sort of like electrical zzz, and she's like, "All right," opens it.
Was that on trap 2? Well, you're being really careful.
That's what I do. She reaches into the box and she pulls out, it's probably about maybe about that big of a bag, and you hear like some clattering inside of it. And Jack's like, huh. And she sort of tosses it to him. Here. He's like, oh, thank you very much. Oh, this is great.
What about weapons? Do you got any weapons?
No, I just got my knife. I really wasn't
Why don't I give you my shield that I'm not using anymore because I've got this one. Eh?
Cutthroat's like, all right, well then I guess you get the shield back here. Anything else?
I seem to think that you have 20 gold of mine.
20 gold. Starts poking around. What was it in a coin pouch? She's
No,
like,
it was just in a stack.
it's a stack of gold. Make a persuasion check or a deception check. Your choice.
It's actually persuasion. I'm telling the truth. I did give her 20 gold to get my stuff back.
Oh. She's like, I don't have any free coins in the boxes here. She reaches over, picks up her cup, drinks, puts it back down. Someone else may have acquired it.
I don't know. I might have to take this up with the captain.
What are you gonna take up with the captain?
He said I could have all of my things back. 20 gold is the things that I need back.
I don't have the. There's not 20 gold. And she starts like rummaging through some bags, and she's like, I mean, I don't have 20 gold in here currently.
Did you put it in your gold pouch?
Oh, the gold you gave me? No, I kept some of it for future sales, and the rest of it went into the ship's funds.
So I guess gold is not something I can get back.
She starts looking around, and she's poking around, and she says, you don't know, you're not an armor person. You don't look like the type. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. She kind of digs down into the box a little bit, and she comes out, and you actually hear the jingling of coins. And she kind of opens the pouch. She's like, I've got 50 silver pieces in here.
Okay, I'll take it.
All
I
right.
will talk to the captain.
Here, she hands you a pouch, and there's 50 silver in the bag.
I'll slide it into my pouch.
All right. Is that everything that everyone needs?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems about right. My fork is in there, right? I point to my bag.
She goes over. She reaches like into a little bag on the shelf. This, and she holds up your fork.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll take that.
She hands it to you. She kind of watches forlornly as you take it back. Like she kind of liked it, and she was.
It's a good fork.
She set it aside, and you think maybe for herself, like, and you.
It's a nice fork. I really like it.
It's very
Why
nice.
do you have a fork?
Sorry?
Why do you have a fork and not like a knife and a spoon?
Forks are useful. You can brush your hair with them.
With a fork? What?
Yeah. What do you brush your hair with?
A comb?
But the
Or
fork
a,
is
what?
or a brush?
like a comb.
What's a
They
comb?
Not at all, really.
They
I
both
mean,
have teeth.
Fingers are good enough, right?
Oh,
do
but
a
not if
decent
your
job.
hair is as long and nice as mine.
Fingers would work just fine. 100 strokes with your fingers all through your hair. That worked perfect.
No, I like this fork. We don't have forks under the sea.
I thought it
That's
was.
weird.
So you brushed your hair with it.
Like, I decidedly
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that there
what
was
do you
this
do with
god
it?
of the sea, and he had a really big fork.
Ah,
What do you do? with
three-pronged
it?
fork, as a matter of fact.
Right? It's a good one.
She's like, well, I mean, it was pretty good for like eating within things, and she
You eat with it.
she scratches either side of, like, because she's got, like, the sides of her head are shaved. She's got hair down the middle of the top, and it's longer, but she's got it pulled back real tight. There's just a few flyaways. And she, like, pulls at her hair and scratches at the shaved parts. She's like, I didn't think I mean, it might be good for scratching, like, your head, too, when it gets itchy.
Your head gets itchy, but then you just jump in the water and it gets all better.
I don't swim that much. I can swim, I just don't.
Why not? Swimming is fun.
I want to swim all day, every day.
I don't really get the opportunity, is all.
You want to go for a swim now? I mean, we are docked, so...
Well, I'm supposed to stay here and keep the store.
I can do that.
I can do that for you.
No,
I mean,
don't
we can
think
all
you
do
should
it
do
together
that.
as a team.
You would just steal everything.
I would not. I've only taken what was my due.
Yeah, for now, but if you were minding the store, you would steal everything.
Well, you don't know that, Holt.
That's true. I don't actually know, but I have my suspicions.
I think we should all do it as a team.
No, that's fine. I've had a little too much to drink to go swimming today.
All right. I mean,
Well,
that
tomorrow.
is
Let us
good
know.
to be safe.
Do you know how long we're going to be anchored for here?
They don't tell me about those things. I was surprised that we were, but apparently it's very shallow water.
Oh, is this not normal?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it happens, time to time, depending on where you're trying to go and the access that you have. So, through here at this time of year, it's sometimes shallower than other times a year. Like that storm was kind of a fluke. Usually we don't get heavy rains like that this time of the season.
Oh, that's-
Must be the curse.
Oh, yeah. This ship's had some weird times with the curse of
Yeah.
sleep.
I think that. Do you see Jack like back out of the room, like not good? he just takes like 3 big steps away when you mention it. Like no. She's like, I don't know. You know, there's always bad juju when someone dies on board ship. It's
I mean, we don't want the ship to be cursed.
yeah.
Slippery Sill has cast quite a shadow over the ship so far.
Well, you know, we might be better off with her not here, but then again, maybe not. And if it's a vengeance that she wants, well, at some point, there's nothing you could do. You just gotta take what you get when it comes to you.
You think she wants vengeance then?
She was, kind of a complete nutter. She, I mean, I think the only thing that stopped her from slitting throats in the middle of the night was that, Mr. Plug and Master Scourge deterred her from her murderous, inclinations.
So it sounds
Oh,
like she
she's-
would want to get back at them.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Well,
I mean, if I was her, that's where I would start slitting throats.
I mean, have you seen, Master Scourge slipping and sliding on the deck and, falling down on occasion and all of that? And the captain hasn't been, seen much, so who knows what's going on with him.
he's been, seems like he's got a lot on his mind. He's never was much of a talker, but he's, less of one now. But we're almost to open water. Maybe once we get a few, ships and, some new cargo and some gold, that usually brightens everybody's mood pretty good.
As long as nobody dies getting it.
Well, I mean, it's, raiding any ship is dangerous and there's always the risk, but high risk, high reward.
Well, but when the captain is cursed, the risk goes up.
Well, you better hope the captain's not that badly cursed because, we're all stuck on this ship too, and if anything really bad happens, well, we could all find
Does the
ourselves.
captain usually fight alongside the rest of the men
Oh,
and
and
women?
on the raids.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we have to board another ship, oh yeah, he lives. That's he lives for that kind of thing, and he's if you do good in the raids and you do your part, I mean, that's when you get mostly rewarded, because when they start divvying up the plunder, if you played a big part and the captain took notice, or someone points it out, well, you're looking at maybe a good payday coming your way.
So, but what if the captain would suffer based on this curse and he would fall? Would that not make the rewards for everybody even greater?
But if our best warrior, which I'm assuming that captain, falls, maybe we lose.
She leans in real close. She looks out the door. Jack is like on the other side of he's kind of sitting on the steps on the far side. She lowers her voice and she says, "Look, I'm not saying Captain Harrington doesn't have his flaws, but do you know who takes over if Captain Harrington's not the captain?"
Master Scourge, of course.
"No, Mr. Plug. And
Ah.
if Mr. Plug and Master Scourge..." She leans in even closer and lowers her voice. "I don't know if you've noticed. You seem like you're somewhat of a smart group. But they're not the type of people I'd want to serve on a ship under, if you get my drift."
Mr. Plug's a bit mean. Yeah.
Mr. Plug's a bit mean.
Yeah, that's me being subtle.
How did it become that Mr. Plug came aboard and earned his position?
Mr. Plug was aboard ship when I joined the crew. Apparently, he's served with Captain Harrington for as long as any of the other ship's officers, as far as I know. But
So they're very much, they trust each other, I suppose.
as much as think as a pirate can trust another pirate, I would say yes. But, and Master Scourge, well, let's just say, he found it important to get himself maneuvered underneath someone who was already in a position of authority in order to make himself valuable and improve his own position.
So he likes to be on the bottom, does he?
No, but I'm just saying, Master Scourge, there were other people, let's say, more qualified and in line for his job. And, well, those other people aren't on the ship anymore.
Did they get hired to do other work somewhere else?
Let's just say they went the way of Slippery Sill.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
So, maybe some people should count themselves lucky that there's been a direct order from the captain about whether or not it's okay to lose a few members of the crew haphazardly at the moment.
I thought we're short-handed.
We're very short-handed. We are actually only have just enough, -1 now, to really keep the ship going properly. So you lot were a nice addition. Made all the rest of our lives a little simpler.
We've been working hard, so I hope that makes a difference.
Or hardly working.
Yeah, yes. And she just sort of looks at Miri again. Like the kind of I see you look.
Yeah.
Does her cup happen to have water in it?
Her cup has rum in it. You actually would have to think about the last time you saw Cutthroat drink anything but some kind of alcohol. Cutthroat may rival fish guts in the amount of alcohol consumed on board ship.
So down here in in the storeroom here? Is there water on the floor or in a bucket or anything?
There's definitely water, like, in the kitchen is right here. Like, literally, the quartermaster store is inside the kitchen. It's just like a kind of like a big closet that they use for it that's in the kitchen itself. So there
Okay.
are like buckets of water and stuff like that. And being on ship and having it had been such a rainy day, plus you lot all came in dripping wet. So there are puddles on the floor specifically because you guys came in having been in the water very recently and nobody dried off and changed their clothes.
So I'm going to kind of turn around, do my little hand gestures, and turn all the water underneath of us blood red.
Oh, poor.
Underneath us?
Yes, the blood that is, or the water that's dripped it off us and onto the floor.
Oh.
All right. So, poor Cutthroat. Let's see.
Do we notice?
Do you notice? What is everybody's passive perceptions?
Well, I obviously noticed.
Oh, you definitely notice.
I have a +1, so it's 11.
An 11?
12.
Times 12.
I would say that you definitely notice. And let's see, Cutthroat is...
I mean the casting.
Oh, the casting. Miri, make a sleight of hand check for me.
Do I get advantage because I turned my back?
I will say okay, yeah. Alright, so, no, you don't notice Miri casting. And neither does Cutthroat. But everybody notices the water on the floor turn, like, red. And you see it, like, the ship's moving, you know, not violently. It's just rocking because it's not really moving anywhere off the anchor. But when it does, like, the water kind of moves across. And Cutthroat looks on the ground and is like, ah! What the hell is that? And jumps back up on the chest she
Oh
had
my
been
God.
sitting on.
Oh my god, what is that?
She spills
I
her
also
mug
jump
of
up.
rum onto the ground. And the rum goes pouring through it, too.
And
that
I'm going to
blood?
jump up on the thing next to her and grab onto her.
I check if I'm hurt.
You,
What is that?
check Holt. You find no wounds. She looks on
I
the
mean-
ground. She's like, ah, what is that?
I mean, I would recognize this spell, correct? Considering I've cast it before.
Well, you didn't see Miri cast it, so, I mean, you probably have, you know, Miri's been pulling some shenanigans too,
Mhm.
but in the moment, you wouldn't know exactly that Miri did it.
Okay. I'm just gonna go with it and go. Oh, it's Slippery Sill.
Is that you, Slippery Seal, you bitch? Fuck off.
No, I'm gonna someone get Sandara. I'm gonna have to have her do some
Yeah,
praying.
I'll go.
Get-
I go out.
All right, so Holt goes running out. Jack was
More,
sitting.
more stomping rather than running.
Jack, who was sitting on the stairs, is standing up, looking across the way. He's like, "What's going on?"
It's
Holt.
the damn curse again.
Nope. And he bolts up the stairs. And you hear the door. And Jack is just out of sight. And Cutthroat's just looks like, why? No, I didn't do anything to Slippery Sill. Why? This is terrible. Terrible, I tell you.
It's a Slippery Sill's curse. She's coming for you. And I'm going to jump down off of the chest where I was holding on to her. And as I do, I'm going to wave my hand kind of nonchalantly to dismiss the spell.
It goes away. And at this point, Fish Guts has lumbered across from the kitchen. He's like, what is going on in here? And he sort of, like, almost walks into you, Miri.
It was the floor. It was blood red. I don't know what happened.
The chicken on his shoulder's like, and then it pecks at his head.
You saw it, right, Fish? You saw it.
She's like, the floor turned bright red like blood. Fish Guts, he's got like a kind of toothpick in his teeth. He like picks at his teeth. You spilled your rum. Was it rum?
Yeah, alcohol abuse.
Was it rum? I mean, you spilled your rum. And he
It was blood red before she spilled it.
I don't know. Cutthroat, come off the chest. Cutthroat, come. Maybe you've had too much to drink today. And she's like, no, they're getting Sandara. And meanwhile, Holt, you go up on deck, and looking around for Sandara, you see, well, just give me a perception check. Let's see where Sandara's at.
Perception. There we go.
All right, so you kind of do a quick look around, and you don't see her at first. You see other members of the crew kind of going about their business. You see.
I go to the nearest one. I'm like, oi, you know where Sandara is?
So you go over and give her this little gnome female. Like, she looks at you and she says, yeah, I think she And she points back up there. She got some ropes up there, front of the ship up there.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
I go off.
She takes her mop that she had and she dunks it back in water and she starts mopping the deck some more. And you see Sandara has like a big thing of rope kind of over her shoulder, and she's kind of walking across. And she sort of hands it down to Rosie, and she's like, hands it to her, turns around, sort of takes her hat and wipes her brow and looks up. She's like, Holt?
Sandara.
Yes?
And another of those little cursed things where the water turns red in Cutthroat's quarters? Or no, in the you know, her little office thing.
Oh.
I don't know, I got out of there.
Again? We're gonna have to do something about Rosie. Can you handle this for a few minutes? She looks.
Yeah, I'm gonna store my all the stuff I got back, and then I'll cover for you here.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I'll go down and if, Cutthroat's a bit of a. She's a little.
She seemed upset.
Yeah, these things get to her. I mean, I won't lie. I may have threatened the the anger of Besmara if she didn't give me my personal belongings back after I boarded the ship against my will. So, it's easy to kind of set Cutthroat off. She's been on pirate ships a very long time, and these things, they all these.
I know you didn't do it. I mean, you were up here.
Oh no! I mostly just told her she didn't want to anger the Priestess of Besmara because it would anger the goddess herself, and that was enough. So I guess blood on the deck. That'll definitely set her spiraling. All right, yep. Come on, let's go check on her.
I hope you can do something about this curse. It's been days now.
Well, I mean, when
Poor Jack Scrimshaw was like he pisses himself every time someone mentions it.
and she sort of he's.
I don't know literally, but
She points like down to where the ropes and stuff are generally stored, and there's like the rowboat and stuff, and you see Jack kind of tucked in a corner under there. I saw him come running out just ahead of you coming up here.
yeah, he didn't even see it. I just told him something that happened, and he was like, "Oh, I'm out." Oh, well.
Well, I mean, honestly though, well, let's just go figure this out.
Yeah.
So she nods at Rosie. Rosie just, do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. And she kind of starts pulling the rope and kind of fastening it off where she's at. And
I'll come help you out in a bit.
whatever. I'm stuck here till last bell, so if you don't get the hell back here, well, that's on me, I guess.
All right.
And Sandara kind of quickly descends the stairs, looks around, and slips through the door into the cabin. You hear, as you're both going through, you hear from inside, you hear What's all the footsteps and pounding? And she's like, oh, come on. We don't want to, we don't want to set her off, too. Let's go. And you quickly descend the stairs. And, as you are, like, disappearing, your head is just going below. The door to Peppery Longfarthing's, little closet workshop, like, flies open. And you see her little crazy eyes poke out. Her hair is, like, there's one little tuft that's on fire.
I'm picturing a Muppet now. What?
And then...
How are there always things on fire with her?
That's a good question. And then you hear the door slam shut. Something falls over your... So, as Cutthroat is sort of having a freak out and refuses to climb down off the chest, and Fishguts just sort of throws his hands up and says, fine, stand up there all afternoon. See if I care. Come on, chicken, let's go. And he just sort of storms back across the kitchen. I have reef claws to cook. What are Antoinette and Miri doing while Holt is gone?
So as I jump down, I'll go and I'll pick up Cutthroat's cup. Did she happen to drop anything else?
She did not drop anything else because she didn't have anything in hand at the time. She just knocked the cup over as she leaped up onto the chest.
All right, so I'll pick up her cup and I will walk into the kitchen and go to Fish Guts and say, hey, can I get some rum here for Cutthroat? Maybe calm her nerves from this curse.
Bart, who is like digging in a cupboard, says, oh, of course. Hey, just a moment, my friend. And he leaps up and runs over and kind of pulls a barrel aside and scoops out some rum and pours it into the mug and hands it back to you. There you go.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And I will take the full mug and walk in and hand it to Cutthroat and say, now, Cutthroat, calm down. It is only a curse.
Make a persuasion check for her to take them.
I've gone with him, by the way.
You're with him too? Alright, so, she looks at the mug at first, and then she, like, reaches out and, like, she'll take it from you.
I let go of it.
I don't trust anything to do with dark magics and curses and...
This has nothing to do with any of that. This is from, Fish Guts and Bart in the kitchen. Just relax. It's gone now, whatever it was.
I don't know. And then you hear footsteps coming back across. And look back and you see Sandara with her cap kind of flicked back up over her head so she can kind of get a closer look. And Holt's kind of a couple steps behind her. She kind of steps through and puts her hands on either side of the door for him. And she goes, so I hear there's a problem now.
It's all you. And I walk down the stairs to put my stuff away.
I don't think
clothes,
there's a problem.
And then I'll go back up to work.
There doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. It's the curse of Slippery Sill caused the floor to go blood red. But other than that, it seems to be gone now, though.
Well, that's gone for now, but I think that we need to really consider doing something more to get rid of it for good.
And what did you have in mind?
What did you suggest?
I might have to pray to the goddess Besmara. There may need to be some kind of tributes and sacrifices made in order to bring back her favor and protect this boat in the situation. If these things go on for too long, the morale of our fellow crew members I've seen it. Some people seem to be starting to fray at the edges, and when you need to rely on people and they're on the edge of their own personal sanity, I mean, it doesn't bode well for everyone. It could turn into a situation where our lives are on the line in one way or another, like that storm, and we lose everyone because this curse has just driven too many people to the edge. Not to mention if, anything happens to anybody else. I don't know. It's very, very dangerous on a ship when things like this take hold.
But the curse seems to be restricted to the captain and the first officer and all those associated with him directly.
Well, then we're going to have to do something to make sure that they're not affected anymore, I think. And unfortunately, they sort of have our fate in their hands. They make the decisions. I mean, what if this curse is truly affecting the captain and he sails us into a whirlpool, or he sails us into running aground on some island with cannibals, or, I mean...
None of that sounds pleasant.
No,
Yeah.
that's... we're all affected. If the captain and the officers are affected, well, at that point, we're all in this, because they make the decisions that define our lives on a day-to-day basis right now.
Then maybe we should get rid of the captain and the officers for new ones.
She just sort of looks at you. She looks at Cutthroat and she says, kind of just puts a finger up to you, Miri. She looks at Cutthroat and she walks over. She steps in. She says, Cutthroat. Cutthroat's like, no, you told me. We've angered Besmara. Cutthroat, come down from the chest, please. As a priestess of Besmara, in my presence, you're protected. Come down. And so she climbs down from the chest. And she says, Cutthroat, I think that whatever dark magic has passed for now, and I think that you're all right. I would stay close to the quarters here. When the bell rings, I'll come get you for dinner. You've had a trying afternoon. I'm going to get the rest of these out of the way, and you don't need to hear any more talk about this right now. And she just sort of looks at Sandara, and she's like, I do my best to please the goddess. And, I know, Cutthroat, it's fine. The goddess recognizes those that are true believers. It's fine. Miri, Antoinette, why don't we... Do you have everything you did? Is your business complete with Cutthroat? And Cutthroat, runs a hand across, her nose as she's kind of sniffling a little bit. And Sandara's like, let's go talk elsewhere. Come on. Let's go make sure that the trapdoor to the bilges is sealed tight. Why don't we? And she just walks out and nods at Cutthroat and then shuts the galley door and walks toward the stairs to go down below deck, where Holt's gone to kind of clean up and get ready to go back upstairs. And she doesn't...
Good night, Cutthroat.
Cutthroat's like... You just see as you're leaving and the door's closing, you see her just, chug the rum. And just drink the whole cup of rum. So Sandara will quietly lead the two of you down below deck. So Holt, you see as you're kind of getting dried off and changed to go back up to go to work, Sandara escorts Miri and Antoinette downstairs as well.
Okay, I give them a little nod, and then I go off to work.
She says, well, now that it's just us, and she sort of does a quick kind of walk through this level and peeks around, looks, kind of goes over to the bilges and sort of pulls it open, looks down inside. She casts light on her hand and just holds it out and looks inside. Alright, I think we might be good. And she shuts the door. She's like, So, she kind of sits down on the floor. So, this conversation about replacing... that's very dangerous talk, Miri. If the wrong people hear you say certain things like that,
I mean, Miri didn't mean anything. He just
I
said
meant nothing. It was just a
he
conversation.
voiced a worry that I think a lot of us on the boat have.
I understand, but even if your intention isn't to do something like that, simply putting forth the idea, on a ship like this, people in power keep their power through intimidation and through getting rid of the competition, and you like to think that there's some kind of honor amongst the crew. This
Do you think there's some kind of honor amongst the crew?
this crew, I haven't seen that, and I mean I'm fairly familiar with various ships' crews, but I've never gotten that feeling from
What
from
brings
them.
you here?
Oh well, I came on board kind of in the same way that you all did.
See, so you're not here by choice.
Well, no. So my father passed away a few weeks before I joined the crew here. And when he died, I just packed a bag and boarded a ship and left. I just couldn't stay home anymore with him gone. My mother's been gone for many, many years, but with him gone too, I felt it was time to take to the sea. And so I did. I ended up in Port Peril, and one night woke up in the hold of this ship and had been just conscripted to join the crew. Maybe a week or so before you all came on board.
Oh, I thought you'd been here for longer.
No, I haven't. But, I try to make the best of every situation I'm tossed into.
Well, I mean, I look at Miri. I think making the best of the situation is what we're all doing here.
I mean, that's what you need to do.
Indeed.
Making the best is important. Now...
But, I mean, we can make the best better.
If you could make one change on this ship, what would it be?
Well, here's the thing. I don't... And she kind of, just carefully again, kind of listens and kind of looks to the stairs and lowers her voice, and she says, I don't disagree with the idea that the people who run this ship are not good people to be running a crew. I mean, don't get me wrong, pirates are pirates, but these, I think, are some of the worst kind of pirates. The problem is whether or not you have the support of enough people when you try to make a change in an existing power structure.
How many people's support do you think would be needed, hypothetically speaking?
Well, I mean, it's, to me, I would need to know that at least the majority of the crew agreed with my opinion and agreed that if we went to take action, that they would be ready to step in and also take action.
But isn't this curse kind of influencing people that there needs to be a change?
I think it's scaring some. I think it's angering others. And I do think that in some cases it's maybe spurring some onto the idea that change is important.
Well, perhaps then we shouldn't stop the curse, maybe?
I wouldn't, no, maybe not stop it, but be very wary of, like, pay attention to who's most affected by it. If you lose some of your allies that are potentially there to help you by them, I mean, people who are frightened, if they get protection from the people you're trying to overthrow in their fright, they might then band together with them. You have to be very careful. People are hard to read in these situations.
You know a lot. You can read people. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I haven't been on board long, but I think that The captain... There's something there. I don't know. He's very tight-lipped about his choices and decisions. Mr. Plug is a sycophant and a bully and a monster. Master Scourge is an opportunist and a very dangerous man if you're on the wrong side of him. And of course, they've got their group of lackeys. I'm sure that I've noticed you've run afoul of, or your friends have run afoul of here and there. That group, that core group, and the officers, I would say most of the officers are loyal to Kerrigan for one reason or another. They, like with, he may have something he holds over them, or it just may be that they've served with him so long that they trust one another as much as they can.
I see.
I see. I think I understand what you're saying, Sandara. I got you.
So now, as we're having this honest and open conversation, the lady whose hair's on fire always,
Oh.
where do you think she stands?
Oh, yes. Well, she's an interesting character, that's for certain.
Well, that much is clear, yes.
From everything I have gotten from the time I've been on the ship, I think that she and the captain, they seem to go back a long way, the two of them. She's a bit of an odd addition to any crew, so it seems that they have reason to trust one another, or perhaps they both have some kind of dirt on the other one, so it's a mutual. I don't know, but yes, it seems to me that they've known each other quite a while, based on just some observations of seeing them in conversation here and there, and just the things that she's entitled to do. I would love to get a look inside that small room she
Surely there is a way for us to have a look in there.
She doesn't come out too often, and I'd just say I'd be careful messing with her. She's she's accomplished in the magical arts.
Well, that's interesting. There's not many people of that around.
No, and she comes in very handy when we do have to raid other ships and things. She's got some talents that make it easier to go about our business. What? Oh, just some weather effects and things, and some other magical effects.
Wow,
she's
that
capable
sounds
of.
fancy. That sounds useful.
I mean, someone who can bring in their own storm clouds is very, very useful.
Be a shame if there were other people around who could do that.
Wouldn't it be a shame, though? Or would it?
It would.
I mean...
Would it? I think it would be, wouldn't it? Don't you think, Miri?
Yeah, I think it would be a shame.
She smiles, and she sort of waves her hand above the deck where you're both sitting, and water just starts to sort of spray out from under her hand where she's rolling it around, and kind of like rolls along and kind of seeps through the boards into the bilges below. And she says, "You never know who's capable of what. Everyone has their secrets."
I sort of look around, and I minor illusion just ever so briefly a flag just in the corner of the room. Just sort of bring up a flag of the last port we're in, and then make it disappear again.
And as she's letting the water come out before it drains completely, I will move my hands and I will cause the water to form into a snake shape.
Interesting. See, everybody has their abilities and things like that. And
Yes.
when she says that too, you notice for just a second, she shimmers and another Sandara appears right next to her.
Oh, that's cool.
Very nice.
And then it shimmers away.
Well, I think we're understanding each other.
I think so. But my biggest advice would be if you've cultivated friendships, or at least as close as you can get to friendships, I would work on those. Figure out who you feel like you can at least somewhat trust, and be very wary of the ones that you have, basically the ones that have shown you who they really are already. Though I will say I was pretty surprised when Narwhal did help to drag you two in during the storm. I honestly thought he'd just walk away and leave Holt on the rope by himself.
Because he's a fisherman at heart, and there were two fish in the sea.
And he sees the changes that need to be required.
Do you have any further ideas on what might convince the rest of the crew to also want to seek change?
I mean, there are many, and I've counseled some in, the weeks that I've been here, that are angry at the way they're treated by Mr. Plug and Master Scourge in particular, since they're the ones that we all have to deal with regularly. The other officers, they, unless we're dealing with something like boarding another ship or things like that, we don't really have much of a back and forth, face to face. They keep themselves at a distance. So, I mean, anybody that you notice that is treated poorly by Master Scourge, if you've paid attention to his behavior, you can tell that he values people who are like him, who are kind of that willing to do anything to claw their way up kind of people. And those are the people I kind of stay away from, keep my distance from. Fortunately, they're so set in their ways it's hard to change their mind. Though, I mean, I won't dissuade you if you want to try. But everyone else, I mean, I think it depends on just figuring out, in some cases, just maybe being on the ship can be lonely when we're out to sea for so long. It might just be figuring out what it is they're missing from their lives before they got out here on the open seas. You never know. Or doing them a favor, or if you can find some dirt on someone that would get them into trouble. I mean, blackmail is always a very powerful tool.
Yes, powerful but unpalatable.
It's true.
Because that just makes them resent you. And if you are leading a ship, you want your crew to like you. In fact, in some cases, love you. And, you do that through treating people with respect and dignity, not by blackmailing them into what you want.
She kind of smiles as she starts to get up, and she says, Miri, you would have an interesting ship if you were running a ship yourself. There are, unfortunately, in our line of business, maybe aren't as many people who should think the way that you do. Maybe they should.
Indeed, I think they should.
But as it is, I do need to slip back up above. I have some work to finish for the day. But, supper's coming soon, and then tomorrow is another day. I do believe there should be some boarding training. I think I heard Mr. Plug mention that you all are due in the next, I think, maybe the day after next.
I think so far away.
Well, these things happen. Some days are longer than others. Just depends.
Indeed.
But as it is, I mean, I guess you're all done with your work for the day, unless you want to join me. I'm going to go find Holt and see what kind of trouble he's gotten himself up to.
Oh, I certainly think I'm done. I need to go change out of these wet clothes.
Fair enough. All right, well, think about what I said, and stay out of most trouble. I mean, a little trouble's always fun. And see what I can do about helping with the curse so that some people who have become more frightened than not of things maybe calm down a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's help with the curse.
All right. She sort of gets up. She stretches. She tips her hat at you both. Pulls out her pipe and kind of packs it a little bit and lights it. And then starts heading up the steps. And leaves you two in the lower deck.
I sort of nod as well, and yeah.
So, Holt, what have you been up to up above? You go back up. Rosie.
I have been working next to Rosie, and I have been talking to her about how she feels about Conchobhar.
All right. So, what do you say to her?
So, like, that Conchobhar fellow, he's mentioned you a couple of times. Like, what do you think about him?
She's sort of winding up a rope and kind of like walking in a circle around because she's small halfling. So she's like walking and like kind of winding the rope around. And she stops and looks over her shoulder at you when you mention Conchobhar. And she's like, he's been mentioning me.
Huh?
Well, she looks around to see where he might be in the rigging. She's like, I told him next time he talked about me to somebody, I was going to give him a knuckle sandwich to his face.
So you don't like him?
He is the most obnoxious. Man can't take a hint.
He seems nice enough, but, if you don't like him, you don't like him.
I'd like him a lot better if he didn't put on so many airs about... have you seen the ensemble that he gets up in, first of all, and I don't know, and then just always showing off. I don't know, it's just...
Well, yeah, he wants you to like him, so he's like showing off, preening, trying to make himself look good. I think he might be doing all that just for you.
Make an insight check for me, Holt.
I don't know if this is true, what I'm saying, but...
All right, so you get the impression that she is annoyed with the actual advances that he makes. Like, it just drives her nuts, like, that he does it and he doesn't take a hint. But when she talks about, like, his style and stuff, you think that she actually kind of likes his style. Like, she's really kind of torn between being really annoyed with him because he doesn't take a hint, but she actually is kind of impressed by his, like, just devil may care, like, he's just gonna do whatever, he's gonna wear his big floofy purple hat and his purple clothes, and he's just, he just embraces who he is. So you definitely know that she's being more just, like, grumbly about it to be so, because she doesn't want anyone to think that she has anything about him that she likes.
Right, but she's not romantically interested in him.
You don't think she is. You think that...
That's the important bit.
Yeah, she thinks that...
For me, anyway.
She respects him on some level, but yeah, she just doesn't have, like, that interest at all.
Cool.
She says, it's a big problem, between him and, even worse, Master Scourge. It's like, go about your business. I'll be over here doing mine. If you don't leave me alone, like, if Master Scourge wants, I'll knock out a few of them gold teeth and sell them if I need to, if he doesn't stop bothering me too.
Maybe if you have a talk with Conchobhar, you two can pretend to have a relationship, and maybe then Master Scourge will leave you alone. Because worst Conchobhar's going to do is talk to you and be all, like, poetic. But Master Scourge, he's not as nice.
Oh, no, well, he definitely, he's not very happy with me, and neither is Mr. Plug, because, I told both of them, and I let everybody know, and I'll let you know, too. You get on the wrong side of me, I got no problem, and she kind of reaches in her belt and pulls out the hand axe that's in her belt. I'll chop off your hands. I told them
Nice.
all. Scourge and plug included.
You know,
Piss me
I
off.
just got my battle axe back. I like axes. Axes are good.
Well, they're perfect for chopping off hands.
Right.
So I mean, if you want a new appendage like a hook or something like that, I mean, I'll handle that for you. If you don't
No.
respect my space and respect what I tell you, like, and yeah. So Scourge and Plug didn't take too kindly to those threats.
Well, you know, F them then. They should respect you and, you know, take what you say seriously.
They should.
Yeah.
She slides the hand axe back into her belt. She says, now I just need to, you know, I mean, this ship, it'd be a lot better if I got my fiddle back, but I haven't gotten enough gold together to buy it from the quartermaster. But I will. I'll get it back.
How much is the fiddle?
I think she wanted like 6 gold.
6?
It's a nice
Alright.
fiddle.
That's not that much.
She looks at you and raises an eyebrow.
Right, I got all got gold. Here, I've already given you 2. Here's 4 more. There you go.
She looks at the gold and she's like, what's the catch?
I would like you to actually have a conversation with Conchobhar and explain to him for real, that you should just be friends. You know, because he's gonna hit on you and you're gonna get angry and things are gonna get out. You know, you might, but if you're just friends, then everyone could get along, and he can help you, and you can help him, because he's my friend and I'd like to be your friend. I think that would just work out.
She's sort of giving you an eyeball. Make a persuasion check with advantage because you gave her gold to get her fiddle back. Whoa!
Boom.
She kind of looks at the gold, looks at you, takes out her pouch and drops it in. You hear it clink against the 2 coins that are in there already. I like you. You're
I like you. You know.
a different
You
sort
don't-
than the rest of these ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah. You know, I like no nonsense people. And that's what you are. And you don't seem like, you know, you're axe crazy. You know, you're just for self-defense, not like.
She
I
smiles.
just like chopping people, no matter what. No, it's
She
just-
smiles at you like this sort of like smirk, and she just says, "You just haven't caught me on a bad day, or been on my bad side." But no, I don't
plan
like.
on ever getting on your bad side.
I don't like cutting people for no reason. Now, if they deserve it,
Exactly. You know, some people, they're right jerks and they deserve a good kicking or axing, depending on how bad it is.
well, let's put it this way: if there's someone who needs a good kicking or an axing that's bothering you, why don't you just give me a heads up? I owe you one.
Oh, that's nice. And you the same. Because
And,
I like helping my friends as well.
And I'll try to be a little less annoyed with Conchobhar.
Just have a good conversation and work it out. Like, he's a good person, you're a good person. Everyone should be able to get to be friends.
I can't guarantee that one night while he's sleeping I won't shave his mustache.
I mean, that's fine. People play pranks, it happens.
She jingles a pouch. She's like, I'll have to go get that fiddle back before it disappears.
Yeah, because someone might get it. You can go now. I can do this on my own for a bit. Oh, and I see Sandara coming back.
And indeed you do. Sandara comes strolling up, smoking from her pipe, and just takes the stairs 2 at a time. Did I miss anything?
Not really. Did you get that fucking curse solved?
Oh, let's just say we're working on it. And Rosie, just huffs. Oh, curses. She looks at Sandara and she's like, I don't have to cut this one's hand off today. He's all right. And I'll be back. And she sort of slips down the stairs and disappears down below decks.
That was a real spitfire.
Oh, Rosie's all right. She's only been on board a little bit. I think she got on board maybe 3 or 4 days before you came on board. You know, everybody's adjusting, I guess.
Hmm.
But looks like the bell should be ringing shortly. I don't know. I might turn in early today. It's been a long couple of days.
Yeah, and you like need to do prep work for whatever ritual you're gonna do to get rid of this ghost.
I do have to work on that indeed, but
Do you need help? Because I would like I'd like to get this thing just in the past. I need some ghost sewing up.
I'm going to do some praying tonight, and I'll let you know depending on what the goddess lets me know that we need to do to cleanse the darkness that has fallen upon the ship. I'll let you know as far as that goes. If I need any help, maybe I'll talk to you and Antoinette and Miri and maybe Bart. He seems like he's an interesting fellow.
Bart's good.
Yeah.
He's a good person.
I'll be honest, when they first brought him on board, I thought...
Right,
well,
me too. It's a hooligan with all the teeth. I'm like, oh my god, there's a monster. He's
Well,
just, he's a regular nice guy.
he's actually quite refined, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's so weird.
But
I asked him if he was like some human noble who got a polymorphed or something. But
I didn't
no,
think of that.
Yeah, that was my thinking, but no. And he says he's not like a Sahuagin royal either, so...
I mean, I guess everybody's got their stories.
Maybe that's just how Sahuagin talk. I don't think I've ever heard one like speak common.
That's true. I've never really had an up close and personal with a Sahuagin. He's the first one that I've gotten to know somewhat, which, so I mean, we'll have to ask him that maybe. Like, is it the general rule? I mean, honestly, I've heard that Sahuagin can be quite violent.
Yeah, that's just because they don't speak common.
Misunderstood.
Maybe.
But then again, until I'm sure, I won't just go up and talk to any Sahuagin. I don't want to, he does have some very, very, I would be very worried about being on his bad side if he has one.
Yeah, I mean, he does know his way around a dead body. Pull up the shield.
That's true. He does. Yes. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Until then, it's rather interesting.
Yeah.
And at that point, you hear the ship's bell kind of chime, and you see everyone kind of start to climb down from the rigging and kind of start putting away mop buckets and tools and things like that. Antoinette and Miri down below, you hear the bell kind of ring. And you can hear up above you, because you're in the lower deck, you hear the heavy footsteps of Fish Guts, and muffled, like, between Fish Guts and Bart's voices, as it sounds like they're collecting tonight's dinner and bringing it up on deck.
So I will finish changing my clothes really quick, and I will go up and I will help Fish Guts and Bart carry the food up the stairs.
Okay. Antoinette, what are you doing?
I wanna so I did this before where I was trying to keep watch on, I keep forgetting her name, Hair Lady, Hair on Fire Lady.
Peppery Longfarthing.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Where I was looking at her room before
Mm-hmm.
and like sort of stalking out, seeing what was happening. I would like to do that again. Just sort of sit there, watch.
All right, so you go upstairs and you actually sort of find a spot in the officers' kind of quarters at the top of the stairs, and you just sit down and are watching the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little out of the way if I can be.
Do you want to try to be a little bit sneaky and like roll a stealth check?
I would like to be a lot sneaky here, yes.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes. Probably not going to go well.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
All right, so you position yourself, and you kind of sneak upstairs before Fish Guts and Bart get out of the galley. So Miri comes up after you've already gone upstairs, and you both notice it smells like the dinner tonight smells really good. Like this reef claw, like fish stew that they have made from it. It actually smells really amazing. So, kind of those of you that did the killing and the collecting, it's like, oh, this is. It smells like fresh fish stew, and like kind of the other stews have been okay, but this one just it just reminds you of like a good home cooked stew. And they sort of lumber through. Miri, they'll let you take some like a couple of bags of biscuits and take it up to the upper deck. You kind of go by, and you don't see Antoinette kind of tucked in her hiding place. She's kind of tucked behind a couple of stacked footlockers that the officers keep in their room, with the hammocks kind of draped across them. So she's like, you don't see the one eye of Antoinette looking out right at the door across the way, waiting. And go up on deck, and everybody's kind of collected, waiting for Fish Guts to come up with food. They've kind of like lined up and are ready to take their meals for the night. And so Miri, you come out, and you see Holt and Sandara coming down from the front deck of the ship. And you see Rosie kind of push past, pardon me, and she quickly runs down the stairs back down below deck, kind of in a bit of a rush. You're not sure why. And so you guys are on deck.
So as we get up there and and we lay out the food, I'll go over to Fish Guts and say, Fish Guts, why don't you take a rest today? You did a great job cooking, and I will do the serving for the crew of this wonderful stew that you've created.
So Fish Guts looks at you, and he's still got the chicken sitting on his shoulder, and he and the chicken both look at each other and look back at you, and you see out of the corner of your eye, Bart has like picked up a scooper, and Bart's like, oh, well, hey, here you go, Miri. If you insist. And Fish Guts just shrugs and is like, I'm perfectly fine with that. Here's the rum ration. And he slides the barrel of rum over, and he walks away back toward the stairs to go down below.
So as the crew comes through, I will make sure that their helping of the stew is heaping, and they get just a little bit of extra rum in their rum ration for the day.
So Miri is the old, like in New York City, the old like politician. You know, come on into the kitchen. Here's an extra helping. We're gonna feed you and keep you. Do you say anything to everybody as you're feeding them?
As they come by, I say, "Hey, great job, good work. Thank you for everything that you've done, and you know, there's some wonderful dinner and some extra rum for you tonight."
You get a couple of raised eyebrows from the usual lot of Narwhal and the other troublemakers that you know.
And I'm going to smile and treat them with kindness.
That's political PR.
Yeah. Master Scourge is sort of walking like along the rail of the ship, and he kind of like looks back with this like scowl on his face, watching you do this, but he doesn't interfere. He just seems to be kind of paying attention, taking it in. Just do me a favor and just roll me a straight charisma roll with advantage, because you are feeding them well.
Okay.
So people do seem as you heaping, give them a heaping portion of stew, and Bart's kind of standing there like handing out biscuits next to you, and he's helping to fill the rum rations, and he's like, a little bit more then, we're doing, kind of fills it a little bit fuller and starts handing them out. And you do, like, especially after the storm and everyone kind of being a little on edge with the whole talk of curses and things, it's actually a little bit of a lighter mood kind of starts to settle over as people sort of settle in and are eating and start to discuss, like, what, games they're going to play for the evening and things like that.
Speaking of, I'm going to go find Jaundice.
He is sitting just below the ship's wheel with Narwhal and Mahim and Phipps and Aretta. They're all sort of in their usual positions. Jaundice is standing kind of next to a crate that Phipps is sitting on, and he's got his bowl, and instead of like using a spoon, he's just like.
I walk over. Hi, everyone.
He sort of slows the slurping and looks over the top of the bowl. Narwhal's like, halt.
Hey, Jaundice. When you're done eating, you want to have another go at this arm wrestling thing? Or are you still feeling dizzy?
He puts the bowl down and he flexes his muscles.
Well, it looks like a yes. All right. I still have to eat my ball, but I'll come find me. And I walk off.
He reaches down, picks his bowl back up, and starts drinking from it again. Meanwhile, so Antoinette, you are tucked in, kind of watching the door. You hear just a small and and a little bit of smoke kind of comes out around the edges of the door, and then you hear footsteps, and the door opens, and you see Peppery stepping out. She actually is kind of smoking a little in general, like something maybe went up in her face a little bit. There's a little bit of soot around her nose and cheeks, and she's got her goggles kind of pulled up because they're kind of blackened a little bit, so she's got that outline where it's clean where they were on and not clean around where they weren't. And she's like, fix that tomorrow. And she kind of kicks the door shut with a foot and turns to go out on deck and sort of stops herself and then goes down the stairs to the hold below. Do you do anything as she's leaving?
I go to her door and try to open it.
Ah, all right. So, you go over to her door, and what are you gonna do?
Open the door. Use the handle. Open the door.
All right. So you reach out to open her door. Open the door. Do. Let me see.
Strapped with a lightning bolt.
I mean, I just want to double check my notes here.
That's the only doors I open.
Those are the best kind of doors. I mean, in my humble opinion. Peppery's door. Da-da-da-da. So, you go to open the door, and I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
A dex save.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to roll an attack roll. It's
I'm being attacked by a door.
You are.
Uh-oh.
That's the best kind.
Is it a mimic?
A mimic door.
It's a living.
All right, so does an 11 hit your armor class?
I have a hilariously low AC. Yes, it does hit
That's
me.
hilarious. That is hilarious. All right, so
Yes.
so you
I
reach
feel you,
out
buddy.
and you grab the handle of this door, and the first thing you realize as you grab and pull is that the door is locked. That when it shut, it locked, and then you kind of forget that for a second as electricity shoots through the palm of your hand, and you're gonna take 6 points of lightning damage as the whole handle just and you just and then let go and kind of stumble back from it, and your hand just smokes.
Alright. I would like to both scream really loudly
Okay.
and also cast minor illusion and place that on the deck above where everyone else is, I believe, because I'm just below the main deck. Right?
You are at the main deck level. You are just inside the door that goes out to the main deck.
I want to place that just so that everyone else can hear and go and shout loudly, screaming in agony in a sense. It's slippery still. She's attacking this boat. There's a fire. But, making it sound much more urgent. I don't want to shout too loud.
No, that's fine. So what did you make an image of some kind, or
Just a sound.
Oh, just a
I
sound.
want to basically project my sound like as if I have a microphone or something.
All right. So out on deck, everyone hears Antoinette scream out this slippery sills, and you see a couple people like look in surprise. You see Master Scourge, like his head snaps over to the side and he looks, and
Did she say fire?
Conchobhar like appears at your shoulder and he goes, I do believe I heard the term fire and curse again. And he draws his rapier and he's like, well, if it's a fire, I guess I don't. Sandara, can't you make water? Come on. And he starts running toward the door.
A quick question.
Mm-hmm.
The door, does it have a keyhole?
It does have a keyhole.
All right, perfect. I would like to look inside the keyhole and cast fog cloud inside the room.
All right, so.
That is a great idea. I love that.
All right,
Totally.
so you quickly look in the keyhole and you can see inside. It's a very cluttered like space. There's like in the moment that you take to do this, it's like you don't even know, like Slippery Sill must just kind of like turn herself around in there when she's doing things because it's such a tight space, and then your fog cloud just sort of fills the space.
So, and I
As-
just want to make sure like a tiny bit leaks out, sort of thing, so it looks like the room's on fire.
Yeah, so and it would because of the seams of the door and the space. That's not a very big space, so it comes out.
Yeah.
So you hear running footsteps, and the door to the main deck swings open, and you see Conchobhar, floppy hat held to his head. Did you say fire, my lady?
I point to the door. I go, look, there's smoke. Don't touch the door. The door will hurt you. There's smoke. It's slippery. It must be slippery still. We must be on fire.
His hand was going for the door handle.
Don't touch it.
And
Yeah, he would have died. Do you realize that? He would have died.
It's terrible. Look, I show him my hand, even though there is no scar or marking. I go, look, I touched it. It hurts. And there's smoke. Can you see the smoke?
Indeed, it's smoke. Well, what do we do if we can't touch the door?
Do
I
we
don't
just chuck
know.
water at the door?
Yeah, maybe. Let's. I don't know. Maybe we need to hit the door, break the door. I don't know. Do we have any weapons? Do you have an axe?
Yes.
Conchobhar looks down at his rapier, and I have a rapier. But
Yeah,
Max?
let's hit the door.
But you said the door is dangerous.
I wouldn't touch it with my hand, but a weapon might be fine. We must get in there quickly because things are on fire.
You hear
You
from
can see the smoke.
you hear from down in the hole below, fire, and you hear the like running feet down below too. And Master Scourge comes shoving through, and there's like all these people kind of in the doorway. I don't know, Holt, you kind of went in with
Yeah, but I'm just standing there like, what should I do?
Sandara's like, I can throw water at the door, but I don't think it's gonna do any good. And Master Scourge is like, get out of the way! Get out of the way! Move! And he like pushes his way through. What the hell is going on?
As Master Scourge starts coming up towards the door,
Poor Master Scourge.
Here we go.
I'm going to create an ice slick right underneath him.
Let's
Of course
see.
you do.
Let's see. All right. What's your spell save DC again?
12.
A 12. Let's see. He slides but keeps his feet. He looks down and he goes, why is the hell with the freaking kiddos?
And then I'll dismiss it just as he starts doing that.
He just sort of shoves like into Crimson, the big kind of hulking, quiet crew member who wears like the bandana. And for just a second, like you see Crimson just sort of ball his fists like he wants to take a swing. And Rosie's just and he keeps his fist balled, but he does not swing at Master Scourge. And Scourge looks at the door and he looks at Antoinette.
I say, look, there's smoke coming from under the door. I heard a loud bang, and I came to check, and there's smoke, and the door hurt me.
I don't have a key to this door. Peppery! And you hear from down
You
below.
want me to axe the door, sir?
You hear from down below, don't axe my fucking I'm coming. And you hear, dum, dum, dum. And you see Pepperly Longsfarthing's face kind of come up from below the deck. What the hell's going on?
You tell us.
As Holt is doing, I'm also pointing just at the door.
She walks forward. She kind of pushes past. She's like, what the? It's something just probably fell over. And she takes out a key from around her neck. And she inserts it into the lock. And she mutters something under her breath. And then she turns the key.
Do I recognize that?
Make a perception check.
21.
You hear her, it sounds like she mutters some kind of incantation. Roll me an Arcana check. As you kind of listen to, like, the phrasing of it.
14.
You think that it's, some kind of, like, almost like a dispel to disarm, like, an arcane lock spell on a door.
Alright. Okay, never mind, carry on.
So she turns and she stops before she opens the door, and she just turns slowly around. She's like, I'm perfectly capable of handling this. Looking.
I'm not moving. I don't say that, but I'm not moving. I'm staying where I am.
Master Scourge starts to sort of move other people. He's like, get back to your food. Get out. She says she has this. She has this. Go. And he starts sort of shoving people through. She settles her eyes on you, Antoinette, and she's like, well?
I'm just wondering if you need any help, because it'd be so terrible if the ship was on fire.
Do you know how often the ship is on fire?
I don't know.
Hopefully not very often.
Hopefully not very often. That would be bad.
Yeah, this seems like a bad idea.
These things happen.
Why is the
Are
ship
you like
on
a
fire?
pyromaniac? Are you setting the ship on fire?
Do you like living dangerously?
Sometimes
What do you do?
I do whatever I need to do.
Like, set the ship on fire?
These
The
things
wooden
happen
ship?
from time to time.
The wooden ship.
Yes.
On
Right.
fire.
I'm back out of this conversation. It is too weird for me.
She's like, you should probably go with your friend. I've got this under control.
But why do you set the wooden ship on fire?
I don't do it on purpose, but these things happen.
I have never accidentally set things on fire. What if... who's still around, by the way?
Holt is walking away. Most of the other people have left. You probably still have Sandara in the doorway, and Rosie is maybe a few steps out the door.
What if there's fire near the gunpowder?
Then the ship will blow up.
This is why fire is so dangerous. Quick, check that there's no fire inside your room.
As I pass people, I say, she said she regularly sets the ship on fire.
The wooden ship.
You hear people start mumbling about this, like, what do you, like, that's not good. That's not good.
Right? That's what I said.
That's like horrible.
Fucking weird.
I'll be having a conversation with the people around the stew, going, did you hear that? She sets a ship on fire regularly, and the captain allows this. What kind of ship is this?
You get a couple of, like, worried glances back in that direction, and she's still just sort of, like, looking at Antoinette, like, waiting for her to go away.
I go away. Are you sure you don't need help?
I have this taken care of.
No wonder Syl is haunting the officers of this ship.
And she just
Every time she says, I've got this, the fire behind her gets bigger.
This is fine.
She just kind of looks at you and she's like, and then you see her. She just whispers again, and this.
Do I recognize that?
Roll an Arcana check.
Sure. Arcana. That'd be a 20.
All right. So you realize, and as she whispers, like, that it is another incantation, and then she disappears, and you hear on the other side of the door, "What's on fire?" And you realize she's inside the room now. That she just disappeared and reappeared in the room.
Do I hear anything else?
Her cursing quite a bit, and maybe some things falling over as she is possibly like trying to maneuver in the room in the darkness, and then you the door opens, and there's a gust of wind from inside, and the whole like fog cloud just gets blown out of the room, and there's like a few more clattering sounds.
A few gust of wind is
Yes.
specifically made to move
Yep.
that junk. It's all okay.
Yep. You actually, Antoinette, as you were starting to kind of like move away, you get hit by like a couple of small barrels that come kind of flying out, and some other debris.
Ah! Slippery Soul is attacking me.
No, she's not. That's me.
Are you attacking me? After you set the wooden ship on fire, you now attack me.
She just stares at you for just a second, like this really exasperated look on her face. And she's just kind of looking at you, and you see like she's thinking for a moment.
I make my best outraged face right now. And then like shocked, like, you've betrayed me, how could you? Kind of face.
Let's see. She kind of stares at you for just a second, and then just make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, good lord. This is gonna go well. This is gonna go well. This is gonna... 18.
All right, let's see. So, you for just a second feel compelled to walk like out of the room and away, but you kind of like go to take a step and then shake it off.
Where is this?
She looks frustrated, and she just takes the door and pulls it shut and slams it shut again.
So, am I alone out here right now?
You are in that room, and Sandara is still just standing in the doorway looking at you. Well?
I just...
Are you all right there? For a second, you got this sort of confused expression on your face.
She's quite powerful.
Oh, is she? Why don't we go get some dinner, Antoinette?
Yeah, let's.
All
I'm
right.
hungry after all of this.
Come on. Miri's still serving extra helpings of reef claw stew. And
Absolutely.
Tasty.
she'll walk out with you and pull the door shut behind and wander out on deck. And we will close on Jaundice is kind of over there limbering up and stretching, and like you see him like pick up a crate and like he's like kind of curling a crate like as he's like getting ready. He looks like he's limbering up for this rematch with Holt. He's got something to prove.
As he does that, I'm going to cast sleep on him and all the minions.
Come on.
Oh,
Roll me some dice there.
oh my god.
Let's see. It is
4 man.
5d8.
This is gonna be my chance to make friends with him.
Oh, that's good rolling.
27.
Damn.
All right. So, yeah. So you watch, all of you, like, Holt, you know, you're finishing up your dinner. Antoinette and Sandara are coming out from inside the officer's cabin. You can still hear Peppery cursing inside the room. And you look over as there's 3 thuds over by the deck under the ship's wheel, and the attention of everyone kind of like who's on deck kind of turns as Jaundice was curling the crate, and the crate is like just kind of rolling away, and Jaundice is like lying on the ground, and Phipps and Aretta, the woman with the really big ears, are both sort of slumped on each other on top of the crates they were sitting on, and they're snoring. And Narwhal is like about to drink his rum and is just like, what the bloody hell? And I think we'll close on that for tonight.
Oh, that looks like they were tired again. They must have worked hard today.
So I think we will close on that for tonight. And yeah.
Good episode.
Good episode.
I enjoyed that.
Lots of shenanigans going on still. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Progress was made.
So, let us go around and do some plugs if we have them. We'll go in reverse. Kat, do you have anything going on?
Nope. Just looking forward to this next game.
Yay. And how about you, PH?
I have my Masks game, which is still going on. Last episode, I spent like about 20% of it crying, so that's good.
I was there for that.
Me crying and my character, so that's I love doing that stuff.
Yeah,
good episode.
I dropped in and I saw that one, so that was good.
Yeah, it's really coming together, and I had a one shot of Masks that was a week ago, and I don't think I have one coming up. So I think that's it.
Cool. And how about Brad?
No, I just appreciate the fun and shenanigans here. The only thing I'll say is that if anybody out there is suffering from depression or wants to talk to somebody, please reach out, talk to people, seek help, call hotlines, whatever it is you need to do. And please don't take the last final step and have a permanent solution to temporary problems.
Very important. Very important indeed. And I will put a link in chat if let's see, Control C. If someone needs resources, there is a link in chat because that is very important. And thank you all for joining us. And if you look for me online, you can find me on Saturdays, 3 o'clock Eastern Time, playing some Acquisitions Inc. at PowerScore RPGs Twitch. Every other Saturday, I'm doing Saltmarsh at 7 p.m. on Scotty Hood's Twitch. And I'm actually put out the call for people to play Cthulhu. I was planning to run 1 game. I might actually run 2 games because I got enough interest for the 2 different nights that I have some time. So that I'm working this week, and I'll be contacting people who got a hold of me and who submitted for playing. So those are coming up. And other than that, you can find me on Twitter. It pops up below. And if you want to find me on Patreon, Uncanny_Adventures, and support the channel maybe. And I try to post a lot of stuff as far as updates and things like that. So, all right. So,
and Jeanette, your Patreon is fantastic.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your support. Brad is a loyal patron. So, we will be back in 2 weeks, and hopefully we will have one Bart returning with us. You know, Dylan's got this real world job thing that happens every once in a while. So.
Jobs. That's what's ruining this country.
I mean, you know,
Yes,
these things happen, but gotta pay the bills, so. All right, thank you guys, all of you. It's another fun session, and yeah, you know, these pirates certainly making some friends and not making friends with other people, so.
That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And beware one Peppery Longfar thing, especially if you mess with her stuff.
She is overly protective over that.
I mean, you know, do you blame her? It's a pirate
This is like
ship.
the 4th trap we found on this ship. So
I still can't believe she said she doesn't care about taking fire to the ship. I mean, that was both in character outrage and out of character outrage there. It's a wooden ship. This is a bad idea.
May have to, I don't know, water under the door, turn to ice when she's in there, kind of thing. You never know.
Just accidentally. I mean, this is a very slippery ship.
It is.
Thanks to Slippery Sill.
Indeed.
All right. Well, on that note, everybody take care of yourselves. Have a great couple of weeks before we come back. And looking forward to more fun adventures on this ship. Who knows what's going to happen. Someday, Miri may be captain. It looks like he's put in motion.
Sooner than later.
So, excellent. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Farewell. Goodbye.